You know what else we're getting next year?
What?
Not season 5 of Haikyuu.
Fuck off. Go suck a dick somewhere.
We're-
I hate you. I
Last
knew
I-
that's what you were going to say.
Last I heard, it's not looking too good.
You know what? It's because they're going to release it in 5 years. And yeah, you're going to have to wait for 5 years.
All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't spend 400 on manga to have it sit on the shelf. I'm just gonna read it without you.
Babe, this is a lifetime commitment.
I spent
You chose me.
I
You
spent
chose this.
I spent $2.99 a month for the Shonen Jump app to see everything. I'm watching it whenever I feel good and goddamn ready.
Yeah, you can watch it. And then you can rewatch it.
Oh,
And
I'm
then
reading
rewatch it.
No, I'm gonna finish it without you. You'll
No.
just ask, Evan, why are you crying? And I'm just holding my iPad to my chest, and I'm like, no real reason.
Honestly, I think that's another reason why I cut out social media was because I didn't want to see spoilers.
Too late now.
No, honestly, like on all my social media platforms, when I do end up going on them, there's no spoiler alerts.
I Instagram you all the spoilers for Haikyuu. You know,
Yeah,
post
but
time skip everything.
I feel like most of that stuff is just like fan art in my brain. I don't really think, oh, this is, flash forward. These are spoilers. I'm like, oh, this is great fan art.
Even if it's official art straight from the page.
Oh, I don't pay attention to that. I just look at my boys.
Good
I'm not going to
lord.
lie to you.
How did Haikyuu become your favorite anime? It's in my top 5, and all ranked together, I believe it's 2 or 3.
It's 3 for you, I believe is what you said.
Haikyuu and My Hero battle between the 2 and 3 spot, like perpetually. Like the manga right now of My Hero is going off. But again, I say I haven't reached the end of Haikyuu, so I don't know.
Which you won't know for 5 years.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you've heard of this very new thing. It's very recent. It's super duper new. It's called divorce.
I've never heard of that before in my entire life.
Okay, good. Glad to introduce you to it.
I don't even know what a breakup is.
Okay, glad to introduce you to it. So what's going to happen is we're going to take a break. I'm going to read Haikyuu, then we'll be fine. Anyway,
I don't think I could get back with you after that if you did that to me.
I don't know if I can continue this with you holding my manga volumes hostage.
We're a healthy relationship, I promise.
Super healthy. This is
Oh, yeah.
great. How did Haikyuu become your number 1 favorite?
Honestly, I think the art and the fact that it gets you to love every single character, every single team that they have on there, I love. They could show a character for 5 minutes, Sakusa, and he's my favorite. Like, I love him. Well, he's not really my favorite because my favorite is the boys. It's Haikyuu.
Who's your favorite team?
Haikyuu.
Who's your favorite character?
Haikyuu.
Favorite coach?
Oh, that's Coach Yukai. That
Oh,
one
but
was
you
easy.
can answer.
That one's easy.
Oh my cotton
And not
socks.
the old Yukai.
Favorite player?
The boys?
Favorite setter?
The boys.
Favorite middle blocker?
The boys.
Libero?
The boys.
Favorite uniforms?
Ooh,
Yeah,
I don't know if I have a favorite, honestly. There's a bunch that I like,
they do got a lot of drip.
but like I don't think there's actually like just a favorite.
I will say that my reasons for liking Haikyuu are the same as yours. Like, the cast is absolutely wonderful. Each team brings something new to the table. So even when it's just they're going up against a team, you know they're going to beat and mop out the way. There's
Oh,
still some
yeah.
emotional payoff, an emotional beat there for every team you see.
That's because they show that backstory of how that team actually got to where they are. So they make you have feelings for them, and I'm like, fuck feelings, but this is great.
Best part about Haikyuu, your team wins. Worst part about Haikyuu, your team loses. And that's truly it.
I feel like that could also go hand in hand. Like, best part of Haikyuu, your team wins. Worst part of Haikyuu, your team wins.
Yeah, like and the best part about that is that every team has such a different approach to how they play the game, or even how they live their lives, Like, we're going to get too into it. It's our show.
Yeah,
It's
I
my
was going
show.
to say, we break this down a lot.
Like, Joe Zenji, they just do whatever.
Oh, yeah, they're off the walls. They just
do whatever.
Could you imagine doing a 2-on-2 Every practice, like that's what most of your practice for volleyball is a 2-on-2.
But then you put that alongside Shira Torizawa, who is one thing, one philosophy over and over and over. Tall
One
and strong,
ace,
tall
one
and strong.
player.
And it's just, it works.
And then you have Oba Josai, who is analytical and breaks down everything down.
Yeah. We're playing the game from more of a tactical standpoint. Yeah, we're not the tallest or the strongest, but we're going to think our way around you anyway. Then there's Karasuno. Attack.
Do whatever the fuck works. I feel like they're a fuck it, run it team.
Karasuno's a fuck it, run it team.
Fuck it, run it.
Just like, that ain't working. All right, timeout. So you know how we had this layout for the past season? Yeah, fuck all that. We just go.
Honestly, though, Coach Yukai usually does that. He's like, I know you guys haven't practiced this, but here's what you're going to do.
And it works.
And it works.
They believe in him. He believes in them.
That's why he's number one coach. Coach Daddy.
And then even put that on the other side of, like, Nekoma, which is none of them are the tallest, strongest players on the team, but, like, they work so obnoxiously well as a unit.
And they make sure that their setter is not tired. They work for their setter, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, they make sure Kenma is standing still and doesn't have to move.
Yeah, make the brain work. It's perfect team ball.
Yeah.
And they have absolute faith in their setter. Part of the pretty setter squad.
I feel like they're all pretty if I'm really thinking about it. They're all pretty. Who are you not going to call pretty?
Yeah. This honestly, the show has no shortage of characters to just root for. Like, on the first watch, there were some characters I didn't really care about. On the rewatch, I flipped. I loved them. I didn't care about Karu first time seeing it. Now he's my favorite character.
I pulled my gun to shoot you right there.
Yeah. Could you tell? For the audience on YouTube, yeah, can you tell? I'm wearing a Karu jersey.
I was like, you're really going to say that to my face? Like,
yeah.
You didn't like Karu the first time?
It wasn't that I didn't like him. I don't think there's a character in Haikyuu I dislike, complete honesty. But, like, first time seeing it, I just honestly didn't care that much about him. Like, I was like, oh, he's cool, he's there. But, like, rewatching it, love the guy.
I was with Tendo and Suki. I was like, fuck these assholes. And Tendo's just a fucking monster. But I rewatched season 3, and I'm like, oh, my God, he's such a cutie. I love him so much.
I feel like our opinion on the entire Shira Torizawa roster changed once we knew how it ended. Because that Karasuno versus Shira Torizawa match of season 3 is peak anxiety.
I felt like it was us watching 1917. We were holding our breath the entire time until it was over.
Yeah, like, on the rewatch, now that I knew Karasuno won, I got to appreciate how fun Shira Torizawa is to watch on screen. Nintendo with his Baki Baki Miyone. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. But first time, every time Hinata went up for a spike, Nintendo was like, hey there, I see you doing the thing. Kill block. But that just in a nutshell is the second reason I love Haikyuu. It is that I have not seen a show that gets me to my feet cheering as hype as Haikyuu gets me, to then making me cry and sit in sadness as much as Haikyuu's done. Like,
end of season 1.
End of season. Perfect timing. I was going to have a YouTube video. It was going to be from good to great, where I just kind of take shows where I realize that they're good and, like, that specific moment that makes it great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've told you this, but I haven't said it on a podcast, so you have to suffer through listening to it one more time.
Oh, no.
I've walked away from a lot of good shows that didn't give me that moment that showed me how great they were. It was kind of why I kind of love, hate Fairy Tail. Like, the whole thing of Fairy Tail is just good throughout, but it's just a flat good. There's no moment that I can point to, like, that's Fairy Tail.
I agree with that. That's kind of why I stopped watching it as well. It was never, one, I love binge watching, and I love getting my anime above yours. So that's why I binge watch a lot of the stuff. Not really. But at some point I was like, it's this, for Fairy Tail, it was the same thing over and over and over again. And it's literally just Natsu and Gray fighting, figuring it out, and then, oh no, here comes Urza to save the day.
Love you, Urza.
Oh fuck yeah! I
Yeah.
can't wait to build that armor.
Yeah, that's no slander to Fairy Tail, but
No,
like
not
it
at
just
all.
didn't have that moment. Like I felt the same way about Naruto, that it was just a flat good, even though the pacing's off at points. But then the
Yeah.
Sasuke retrieval arc was where I was like, oh, this is where boys became men, and that hooked me. Like that's when I was with Naruto until the end, because that arc of saving Sasuke, I just couldn't tear myself away from it.
And didn't like the beginning of the Sasuke retrieval arc.
No,
Not until like they finally went out and they were beating the, I don't remember what they're called, but they are what is it?
Orochimaru's
Yeah.
cursed mark goons.
Yes, pretty much. I didn't think it was really interesting until then. Even though that sounds pretty bad. It wasn't interesting until then for me.
That's fine. You can. I'm not going.
That's when they
We argue about enough.
I know. I feel like that's when they turn into men. Like I didn't really care for like them following Sasuke and Orochimaru and then getting. I felt like it was the same thing over and over again. But I love Naruto, as you can see. Like huge fan. I binge watched it during COVID in 3 months, or a month. It might have been a month.
You said that one more time.
I binge watched the entire thing in a month.
Anyway, moving on
Yeah,
before
yeah.
we argue about that again.
My bad. Sorry.
Haikyuu. Sorry, I'm gonna walk this back and delete that.
Hmm.
So, why the end of season 1 was great is because me personally, I like to see the protagonist of my show take a L sometimes. I like to see the people in my show just lose sometimes. So, like when you win, I appreciate it more.
Which I was really appreciative for the fact that they did that, honestly, because there aren't a lot of shows that will be like, you're going to lose. They even did it later on, even when it wasn't like a tournament, but like they were practicing against State Tech. They didn't win. They won one
Or-
out of like 5 matches.
Or even better, at the Tokyo training camp,
Oh my fuck, my favorite arc.
everyone's favorite arc in that show.
That's my favorite
They played-
rewatch.
They played 50 sets. They won 3.
Could you imagine playing 50 sets of volleyball in a span of like, what, 4 or 5 days?
Yeah.
Or a weekend even? Could you imagine? My body would be dead.
Yeah. It was just a great arc. And that's actually why like Haikyuu always just throws something new at you. You never feel like they're going to like just plow through it. And even when they do get these filler teams that are on the way to the goal, that it's a payoff somewhere and you're invested. You learn more about characters and the people. And even better that the 2 main characters are Hinata and Kageyama. There are definite times in the show where they want to focus on something else and just say, all right, you 2 idiots, just we're going to put you to the side.
Like this previous season.
Yeah, like there were several times where Hinata just wasn't really on screen doing too much. Like he was there.
And neither was Kageyama.
Yeah, but there were certainly times where they said, all right, we're going to focus on Nishinoya. We're going to focus on Suki. We're going to focus on Tanaka. And then we're going to flip to the other team. We're going to show you some Kita.
Ugh,
We're going to
Kita's
show
story.
you Osamu and Atsumu. And that is such the mark of great character writing, when you can just put the main character to the side for like a good half episode, a good couple of scenes, and we don't miss them.
Honestly, I also like the fact that it wasn't like we knew that Karasuno was gonna win against Shiro Torizawa, because how else is it going to progress and move on? I mean, we didn't know, but we kind of knew deep down. But you watch them struggle playing these bigger, tougher teams, even though you're like, oh fuck, I don't know if they're gonna win or not. Are they gonna lose? They did against Obajosai in season 1, but obviously you know that they had to redeem themselves in season 2, because if they didn't, what the fuck are they gonna do for a season 3? Restart? And then you don't have your 3rd years?
Yeah.
No.
That's honestly for a time where I thought they were going to go. I was so proud of Karasuno going up against Shiro Torizawa. I was like, I'm so proud of them. I don't care if they lose. And I'm saying it like I'm an actual sports team. Like I'm genuinely watching like the Lions play the Super Bowl or something. It's not going
Never
to
gonna
happen.
happen.
That's why I said it. I hate you. That's why I said it. But
I like the fact that they didn't plow through the teams. Like it was an actual struggle throughout the entire game.
so since you're never going to tell me who your favorite character on Haikyuu is, do you have any characters on Haikyuu that you like a lot that aren't necessarily Hinata and Kageyama?
Obviously, I love it. Honestly,
Just any couple characters. I'm not saying for your ranked.
I know. I just love them all so much. I could talk about each individual one and like what they all like individually. I think I resonate with how I actually am in sports with Atsumu. I am very controlling, a little bit.
You? Not at all.
I just like things to go my way, and if I set something up for you, I expect you to do it right, and I expect you to get it.
You? Not at all.
Yeah, I know that. I feel like I resonate with him the most when it comes to playing, but in my inner self, I am. You will laugh at this. I feel like I'm Akashi, even though you feel like I'm the Bokuto and you're the Akashi. I feel like the Akashi is just very soft, quiet, but also Kenma, because extreme introvert.
Yes, but you can't beat Kenma because you care if you win or lose.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Kenma's like, I'm just playing.
Yeah, he's only playing for his lover, Karu.
Please don't talk about shipping. We're not doing shipping today.
Because if anyone wants to know, Haikyuu is one of the top BLs. If you Google it, top BLs, Haikyuu is up there.
I'm not upset about Haikyuu being a BL. I'm just upset that certain pairings just aren't right. I can give you
Karu
Akashi and
and
Bokuto.
Kenma
I can give you Akashi and Bokuto, yes. I can even give you Asahi and Nishinoya. That's fine. As much as Hinata and Kageyama makes me vomit, I get it. They're the two main characters.
I hate it, honestly.
Kenma and Karu are bros.
No, they are lovers.
Iwaizumi and Oikawa they don't even like each other all that much. They're just great partners. Iwaizumi doesn't even look like he likes Oikawa. The real leader on that team is Iwaizumi.
Even though it's Oikawa.
Let's move on. But no, I like. What makes you say? Who's the second person? You said Atsumu first.
Akashi.
Okay. What makes you resonate with Akashi so much?
Well, I kind of break things down the way that Akashi does when it comes to like certain things in life. Like if I choose this plan, then this is what the outcome's going to be. If I choose this plan, then this is what the outcome will be. And it's usually when it's focusing towards you. So like you're my Bokuto when I like thinking of dinners. I'm like, well, if I choose this, then Evan's not going to like this. But at the same time, I am your Bokuto, and you are my Akashi.
Yes, I understand. I know how you work, even though I don't understand it.
I don't understand myself either, so it's okay.
I would say that two characters that I resonate the most with would probably be Sugawara.
Suga.
Because how I always view myself, I'm not necessarily the smartest or the fastest or the strongest, but if you ever call me and need something, I'm there. Like I'll do
Mr. Reliable.
as much as I can. You know, I'll contribute however I can. That's how I've always felt about myself, and I guess prided myself on. Like I'll do whatever. Just tell me what I need to do, and I'll do it. But I love Yamaguchi as well because
you are going for the underdogs over here.
No, I mean I don't say I resonate too much with Yamaguchi.
Okay.
But like that type of story really resonates with me because you see in the beginning of the show where he's kind of hiding behind Tsukishima because Suki's tall and smart for the game and he knows what he's doing. But Yamaguchi isn't really there yet. You know, it's like he's hiding behind Suki, slacking off. But then when Yamaguchi sees that Suki is being a starter because he's tall and can block very well, Kageyama is a genius who works stupid hard, and Hinata's a physical freak. Yamaguchi's the only first year that doesn't start. So from that realization, he's like, I need to do something to make this roster. I don't want to get left behind because he's not as good, tall, strong, as fast as anybody else in his class.
Right.
That's a powerful message, you know? And he's trying really hard to be the team's pinch server. And then he gets his shot, fails, gets his second shot, runs from it. And it's just a painful thing to see how much he really wants it. But, you know, he's a human. He's scared sometimes.
He's a freshman. He's a first year.
Exactly. So to see his sensei teach him, and his sensei teaches him like, when back in my day, that he practiced and practiced and practiced, and then one game he just happened to get that first point. A quote that stuck with me was, "How long did I practice for this one shot?" Then for Yamaguchi to play,
I just got chills.
I know,
Hold on
right?
a second. Oh.
And then for Yamaguchi to play Seijo round 2 and then go off for 5 straight points.
Yeah.
And everybody's cheering his name. I was tearing up.
And he did the same thing with Shiratorizawa.
Yes.
You know what I also like is the fact that they don't really show much of the second years besides Tanaka and Nishinoya and Chikura. But the other two, I don't really remember their names, even though I love them.
Narita and Kinoshita.
Yes.
But that's fine. I'll let you finish.
They don't really bring it in until later on in the seasons. I think this previous season was the first season where they actually introduced them, and like they're not just background fillers. Mm-hmm. They're actually there. Like they even finally gave them their own story that wasn't Yamaguchi's story. Mm-hmm. Like, is it one of them is there for Nishinoya in the previous season?
Yes. I think Kinoshita.
Kinoshita?
Yes.
Okay.
Where he tells him, Nishinoya, step up.
Yes.
Oh, that moment was beautiful.
But, and the fact that they break the characters, like they broke Tanaka, and they broke Nishinoya, who are not easy people to break. They're not Asahi.
Yeah.
And they were in the middle of a game, and they broke them. And then they took them right back up.
Yeah. They took their characters apart for a hot minute, man.
I was so down. I was hurt for the fact that Tanaka and Nishinoya in the same game were just broken. Yeah. How are you going to throw that on to, like, your watchers? Like, here, I'm going to break your 2 favorite characters. Just here you go.
For the entire time of the game, we've taken Tanaka for granted. He was always loud. He was always getting his spikes. Like, we've never seen him struggle until that match happened, and it was, are you just there to be there? Like, what have you done today? Yeah. And then we've always seen Nishinoya be able to pick up a spike. I mean, he's a super libero. But then, I mean, he was getting picked on by your boy, Atsumu.
Yeah, I know.
Captain of the Pretty Setter Squad. He was getting picked on. That's humiliating. You played sports.
Yeah,
it's humiliating when they're like, oh, go at them. He's the weakness right there. That's humiliating.
It is. I honestly couldn't even imagine it, especially being in Nishinoya's spot. And it's not like it's just like a little tournament. You're in a huge setting, and I know it wasn't like a finals game, but it acted very much so as if it was a finals match between those two. Mm-hmm. And it just kept going on. And finally, obviously, he gets his moment.
Yeah. Like, if Haikyuu never gets... So, essentially, this might have... We've talked too long about Haikyuu. This might be our love letter to Haikyuu if the anime's over. The way I'm looking at it now.
It's not over.
The anime, I don't know.
It's coming out in 5 years, hopefully less.
But all I'm saying is we talked a lot about it. Honestly, I could probably cut the whole Haikyuu portion. That could be its own episode, and the rest of the pod could be its own episode. I don't care. It's my podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
It's our favorite show. We do what we want.
It is, yeah. I know. I have so much more merch than you when it comes to Haikyuu, but I was like, I don't want to match him.
Then don't match me. Wear it next episode you come on.
I will. Well,
if
that's
you feel
why
like
I wore my Naruto.
But, yeah, I really do love Haikyuu because there's so many characters and moments for you to relate to and latch on to. And as I said earlier, to wrap this little part up, no show has gotten me on my feet cheering, and no show has gotten me crying in the same breath. Like there was like the beginning of the episode, I'm on my feet cheering like I scored a touchdown. Like I'm over here picking spikes up. Like I'm there. And then the end of the episode just has me.
They're my true sports team. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. They're real.
Yeah.
That's a real sports team.
Karasuno's real.
It is, man.